we did want to quickly address like the upcoming tax credit changes for those that are under 400% of FPL, just because there still seems to be a little bit of misinformation. And I'll even say this, things can still change between now and open enrollment. So we'll tell you how things are right now. And then
But I'm going to tell you how the tax credit works. There are
yes.
so many people out there as agents, it kind of scares me, that don't know how it works. So I'm going to show you how this works so that you know why if somebody has low income, all of these rate increases are irrelevant. Okay. So we gotcha. If you think I've got low income people and all these rates are going up and I'm going to lose them all because they can't afford it, I have good news for you. That's not how it works. So I'm going to explain how the tax credit works. It's a tax credit calculation. The tax credits have not gone away. I know there's people that think it has. It has not. So they're looking at the adjusted gross income plus non-taxable Social Security is usually what it is, and tax-exempt interest, foreign excluded foreign income. I don't know about you, but I've never had to tell somebody, the government, about excluded foreign income. So mostly it's the adjusted gross and then making sure you use 100% of Social Security. That gets the modified adjusted gross. You're eligible for tax credits based on household income for the year. There's no income brackets. The calculation, where they come up with the magic number of tax credits, is based on the second cheapest silver plan in that area, that county, for the family and their income. If the rate of the plan is more than 8.5% of the modified adjusted gross, they get a tax credit. Now, it is reverting back to 10% next year. So everybody's going to get a 1.5% rate increase, or potentially, if the plan is already less than 8.5% of the modified adjusted income, they didn't get a tax credit. That's what 2025 looked like. Now 26, 400 cliff. But we're not really going to talk about the 400 cliff right now because who knows, maybe they'll fix that. But that's where that tax credit's coming from. So if the rate of the plan goes up, the rate of the tax credit goes up. You're still going to be paying about the same amount. So I know percentages can be confusing, but it's actually pretty fair. I will tell people you're going to pay about 10% of your income. Everybody pays about 10% of their income. It's pretty fair. All right. Now, not over 400. So again, we'll just don't worry about those people. So tax size family matters and the IRS cares. So here's a couple, 42, 43, their income is at 45,000. They're getting a $670 tax credit because the silver plan needed $670 to make it cost roughly 8.5% of their income. Look at this couple. They're older. They're making the same amount. The plan was $1,261, but what's the cost of the silver plan? $120, $162. Why? Because they're making the exact same amount as the younger couple. The younger couple's getting a lot less tax credit, but it's still the same cost. Now we got a 63, 62-year-old. They're getting a much bigger tax credit. But the cost of the second cheapest silver plan, $162. Now, bronze plans typically less than 10%, gold plans typically more. There are exceptions to the rules. There are counties where the gold is cheaper than the bronze, or for some reason, or cheaper than the silver. But traditionally speaking, this is how it works. So this person's now they went up to 65,000. So the cost is going to go up to roughly 10% of their income. Now they're making 85. Next year, they would not qualify, but you would get them a tax credit with an HSA, but 602. Now, One couple 60 is 63 and the other person's on Medicare. Look at the cost of the plan, 424. It's the same amount as what it was when they were both on it. So I'm going to go back here so you can see it. $424, that silver plan. When it goes up in rate, it's because it was a bronze plan. So they have a bigger percentage to pay. It's still less than 10%. Sometimes the rate goes down, and that's if they're in a gold plan. So look at these numbers, $263 a month for bronze, $424 for silver, cost is $737. One person's on the plan, the bronze went up and the gold went down, but the silver plan costs the same. I tell people that ask me, why did the rate go up? I go, because the one who costs the most, you lost his tax credit or you lost her tax credit, but you're still paying less than 10% of your income, usually. And then they kind of go, okay. So it's about percentages. This person's still saving over $5,616 compared to full price. So that cost of that gold goes down, but the silver is exactly the same. It doesn't matter. So that's the biggest thing, people, you kind of got to remember. Typically, now, again, I need to update this to 10%, but bronze plans are usually less than 10%. Gold is usually more. There's usually one cheaper silver plan. Now, in my county, it's a penny cheaper. So I've seen some in years past where the cheap silver plan was here and the second cheapest was $100 a month less. They all got it for free. So that second cheapest silver plan affects the tax credit. Remember, baby born January 1st, December 31st, you get the same amount of tax credit. So that's how the income works. It's the whole year. They don't care when you make it. The IRS doesn't ask you, hey, when did you make your money? They want the whole year. So if somebody's only making $20,000 this year and they're paying $2 and they're making $20,000 this next year, it's irrelevant if the rates go up 70%. Their tax credit's going to go up 70% and they're still going to pay are close to $2. So do not think I got to get out of the ACA and nobody's going to be able to afford this. 400 cliff aside. Somebody posted an article and I think it was on Brandon's page. And I said, this article is misleading because it says most people will not be able to afford ACA. That is inaccurate. It's guessed about 10 to 12 million, which is a lot, that are over 400. But there's over 100 million people in the plan on the marketplace. So you are not losing. I mean, I have about 4,000 clients in under 65. We just did a whole thing to see whose income was over. It was like 8% of our clients. And we reached out to them and we're talking to them somewhere between 8 and 12%. So the majority of your book, unless you specialize in high income people, which you certainly can, are going to be just fine. This is the time to tell those people. Now, people close to the cliff, if you did not see my class last week about HSAs and how to keep them under, please find my YouTube channel. So it will be there soon. So people that are close to that 400 FPL, we can keep them under. But if you are under, don't worry about it.
So if things are kind of reverting back to how things were before all of these extra tax credits came around, I was typically seeing the lowest income people like have silver plans starting around $20 a month. So yeah, that might come back. And of course, if there's a $20 difference between the second lowest silver to the lowest silver, that bottom silver may actually be zero still. But there's going to be a bunch of bronze plans that don't cost anything for those people. And you're going to probably see that up to about 250%, maybe. There may still be a $0 option available for them.
But honestly, people want, if you're low income, you're going to pay $10 for your insurance.
They actually care.
Because they know they can't afford to not have it.
They would rather pay the $10 than the $150 copay it costs to see a specialist.
Right. Now, Again, there's always exceptions. I have somebody that her network has always been too expensive. She qualifies for a great plan, but because of the second cheapest silver plan does not cover her network, her company to do it would cost her $100 a month. And she will not change her doctor. Okay, she's relatively young, so she chose to go in the bronze plan, and it's costing her nothing. So if somebody really can't afford the $10 or the $100 because they refuse to change their network, there will be cheap bronze plans. But I'm sorry, sir, if you are a single person making $50,000, you can afford more than a $0 plan. As we have told people in the past, Congress can change their mind December 31st. I don't know. There could be an executive order. Who knows? But don't assume that right now 400 is what is happening. All right. Thank you very much, everybody. Talk to you Friday. Again, these will be available in the future. And all 7 of them, once you got it, you got it. Appreciate you.